Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Shadowverse Evolve Orchis Puppetry deck profile for July 2025. Wanted to show you all the newest Shadowverse deck that I'm working on. This is one of the more powerful decks from the series, being the Orchis Puppet deck. Orchis was originally a Portal Craft card, which they converted to a Forest Craft card for Shadowverse Evolve, still being able to utilize the many different puppet tokens that she can summon out, whether it be Lloyd, Victoria, or just the original puppet tokens. Very, very awesome, and definitely excited for the new support, which we'll be receiving in set 16. So definitely look forward to an update to this deck around that time as well, which will probably be sometime next year at this point. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck followers. We're running 3 copies of Orchis Puppet Girl. For the cost of 1, you can evolve this follower into Orchis Resolute Puppet, and for the cost of 4, you can evolve this card into Orchis Vengeful Puppet. So we have a double-sided evolve option for this card, whether it be Orchis Resolute Puppet or Orchis Vengeful Puppet. So it's a 3 cost to 2, which just depending on what you have for the play points can evolve into the different forms, which we'll go over when we get to the evolve deck. We're also running 3 copies of Liam, Master of Puppets. For fanfare, you put 2 puppet tokens into your EX area. For those of you that don't know, the puppet token that's Lloyd right there. This is the puppet token. For a cost of 1, it's a 1/1, so just easier setup. Sadly, it's not the 0 cost as it is in Shadowverse Evolve, but giving you more of those puppets to use in your EX area. And then you can tap this follower to look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal a puppetry card from among them, add to your hand, put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Activate only if there are at least 3 puppetry cards in your cemetery. So great setup if you have the means to do so for the added token setup, and then just the additional search for other puppetry cards. The 3 copies of Noah, Vengeful Puppeteer, for a cost of 2. You can evolve this follower. You put 2 puppets into your EX area, and whenever a puppet is put into your field, you give it +1 attack and store, making all your puppets being able to swing all the faster for your attacks against your opponent. So it's a 3/6, just added setup more towards the middle of the game for the 5 of cost to then be able to make use of. We're also running 3 copies of Junk, which is a 1 cost, 1/2. On fanfare, you put 2 puppet tokens into your EX area, so you're just setting up more and more puppets for you to use with this deck. Junk is a very good early game card as well to be able to use in the deck just for that setup. And also for some more of the puppet materials that we run in the deck as well, because we do run a good number of followers, just because it's good to have that board set up. 2 copies of Automaton Soldier. It has Ward and Fanfare, being able to put 2 puppet tokens into your EX area. For a 3/4 with Ward, just being able to strike back pretty powerfully against some of your opponent's followers. 2 copies of Flower Doll. For a 1 of cost to evolve this follower, and with Fanfare, putting a puppet token into your EX area. You should always have puppets set up in your EX area, and then we can use those puppets for more of a powerhouse play with cards like Zwei, Murderous Puppet. With this card, cost of 2 to evolve, and on Fanfare, you select a puppet in your EX area and transform it into a Victoria puppet. So the Victoria puppet then has the 4/1/0 cost option, so just being able to play out this puppet for free with Rush and Assail, and Fanfare to draw a card while it's on the field. It's also a puppet, so then any additional benefits you would have for your puppet cards, you can make use of with Victoria also. Some of the more generics that we run for the actual followers in the deck include the 3 copies of Sukuna, Brave, and Small. I'm missing 2 spots in my Evolve deck. I only have 8 cards in the Evolve deck. So for Sukuna, she would be the additional card that I would run in the Evolve deck for the final 2 missing spots. She's just very, very pricey for her Evolved form at the moment. But that would be the last 2 spots that I would run in the Evolve deck for this follower as well. We're also running 2 copies of Paula, Icy Warmth. For a 1 of cost, you can evolve this Paula into Paula, Gentle Warm, or Paula, Passionate Warmth. Once again, having a double-sided evolution to go into, whether it be Paula, Passionate Warmth, or our Gentle Warmth, depending on the card we need for that specific combo, depending on the combo for our Forest Craft cards. I also have the 1 of copy of Spinaria, Keeper of Enigmas. With this card, if you want to run 2, you can drop down the copies of Noah, Vengeful Puppeteer to a 2 of cost for 2 copies of this card. With Ward and Fanfare, you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. From among them, you may reveal up to 1 Forestcraft Follower and 1 Forestcraft Spell. Add them to your hand. Put the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. And with combo 3, being able to recover 3 play points. So if this is the 3rd card for the turn that you've used, combo 3 will give you back 3 play points, making it a pretty good late game card as well if we have the early on play points to use before we summon out our Spinaria. For the spells, 3 copies of Substitution. With its quick, cost 2. Select an enemy follower that costs 3 or less on the field. Return to the owner's hand and put a puppet token into your EX area. So a bounce spell option with still being able to give you more puppet tokens in your EX area to use. The 3 copies of Heartless Battle, which is actually a card we just got in the Shadowverse Evolve game as well. Select 2 cards named Puppet in your EX area, transform 1 into Lloyd and 1 to Victoria. So giving us the 2 evolved forms of our puppets being our Victoria and Lloyd from the 2. So a definite 3 of just with how easy we can summon out both of these cards, with Victoria having more of the rush option and Lloyd having the ward option available to us. And 3 copies of Nature's Guidance. You select a card on your field, return it to the owner's hand, and draw a card. For a 1 of cost, it just helps with the combo plays. So just being able to bounce a card to reuse and draw a card, making up for the Nature's Guidance itself. The 3 copies of Elf Song. You summon a fairy token, combo 3, give each Forestcraft follower on your field +1 attack and 1 shield. This is mostly used for the combo. Yes, we do get a fairy token on the field, but mostly used, as I said, to just give everything a boost in attack as well. With the last of our spells being 2 copies of Goddess by Sunlit Sea. Draw a card if there's a follower that costs 4, 5 or more on your field. Recover 1 play point, which can be done depending on the use with Spinaria, but it's mostly used just for the added draw power early game as well. With the last of our spells being the 1 Ivy Spell Bomb, you select an enemy follower on the field, deal it 5 damage, and combo 3, deal 3 to the leader as well. So it could be a final play finisher if the combo is high enough to use also. For the Evolve deck, we have 2 copies of our Orchis Resolute Puppet. We have the double evolution. So on Evolve, you summon 2 puppet tokens. With this card, once on each of your turns, when a puppet you control leaves the field, put a Lloyd token in your EX area. So it just makes up for the puppets that we called out by being able to just set up Lloyd in the EX area to then give us a free cost puppet with Ward 2/4, and also for that card as well being able to count as a puppet. And then the other side is the Orchis Vengeful Puppet. On Evolve, you summon 4 puppet tokens, so they don't go to the X area. This card just gives you the 4 puppets to use, and while this card's on your field, each puppet on your field has a sail, being able to attack stood followers on your opponent's field also. And when a puppet you control leaves the field, select an enemy leader or an enemy follower and deal it 2 damage. So just more use for your puppets to then be able to give you more damage as well when they leave the field because of it. We also run the 2 copies of Flower Doll. For its last word, you select the 1 puppetry follower in your cemetery, including this one, add to your hand. So it can be add back power even after we evolve into this card to give us back a puppetry follower. The 1 of copy, because there's just so much room we have to fill in for the Evolve deck of Noah, Vengeful Puppeteer. While it's on your field, any puppet you play costs 1 less, and whenever a puppet is put onto your field, give it +1 attack and storm. So the Evolve form can help us just to get out our puppets for free since they're a 1 of costs. The 1 Paula Passionate Warmth. On Evolve, you select up to 2 other followers on your field, put them into your owner's EX area. And on combo 3, select an enemy follower on the field, deal it 3. And then we have the Paula Gentle Warmth. On Evolve, looking at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal a Forestcraft spell from among them, add to your hand, and the rest go on the bottom of the deck. So whether you need more reset up power or search power, that depends on the Paula you want to go into. And then the 2 copies of Zwei Murderous Puppet. On Evolve, you select a Victoria on your field. It doesn't take damage this turn, making it all the better for that puppet to then be able to attack into your opponent and not take any damage since its defense or shield is 1 for that. So that, with the final 2 spots, as I mentioned before, would be for the Sukuna, Brave and Small, the 2 additional copies of her Evolve form for the Evolve deck for the total number of 10. And that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, just wanted to show you all one of the later decks that I'm working on. We will be getting more support for this deck, so I'm definitely excited for that. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.